Hello and welcome to the Best Life Podcast, where we here at Altra Federal Credit Union are helping you live your best life. I'm your host, Tony Byer. Thank you so much for tuning in. And on today's episode, we're talking about an important topic, and that is higher education. That's right. Studies have shown a link between having a post-secondary or an advanced degree to an increase of lifetime earnings, while also lowering the chances of being unemployed for an extended period of time. And it can also open doors to new careers and possibilities. Now, while all of that sounds well and good, something that stands in the way of many pursuing higher education, it's the cost. In fact, in a recent article by NPR, over the last 30 years, average tuition for both public and private four-year colleges has essentially doubled after adjusting for inflation. So education past high school has gotten incredibly expensive. So to help guide us through what students and their families should know about paying for college, we're joined by Jen Weber. She's the Financial Resource Coordinator for Western Technical College here in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Thanks for being on the podcast, Jen.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we're also fortunate to be joined by Holly Salimes. She is our Youth Marketing Specialist, and she's here to tell us about scholarships Altra and the Altra Foundation makes available to students. We appreciate you being on the Best Life Podcast, Holly.
Thanks for having me today, Tony.
Absolutely. So, Jen, when it comes to paying for college, financial aid, plays a big role with all of that, meeting with students and families, what you're doing every day. I was curious, after the initial application to get into the school, which is important. But let's talk about the money side of it. What needs to happen, right away, or what might be part of the application process? And how do people get started, with higher education?
Yeah, so a lot of students start applying for colleges in August or September, October, and some people apply in April. It varies. I always recommend, if you get an acceptance letter, look on the school's website to see if they have any scholarships, foundation scholarships, school-based scholarships, merit scholarships, academic scholarships, any kind of scholarship that you can look up and find through that school, apply for it. Even if you're on the fence about going to that school, apply for the scholarship. You never know. And then once you fill out that application for school, you're looking at everything, you're going to want to wait until the FAFSA is ready to be filled out. And that's the free application for federal student aid. It's an application that is based on your family income and assets, so parent income, student income, and it calculates what you might be eligible for within financial aid.
Yeah, and that's aid you don't have to pay back, talking about scholarships. And Jen, you did mention the FAFSA. I hear that a lot when it comes to higher education. As far as paying for college, could you tell us a little bit more about the FAFSA and what students and their families should know about the FAFSA?
The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, and it is something that seems to be quite scary. Like right away, it's another document, it's another application that everybody has to fill out, and people aren't sure what they're signing up for, what they're giving their information for. So the FAFSA, it's a federal application, and it's going to give you an idea of what your student's financial need might be. So it's going to calculate a student aid index. For people who went to college a little while ago, it used to be called an EFC, or an expected family contribution, but they changed it a little bit. So it calculates the student aid index based on your family income, assets, so like the parent income, assets, and then the student. You'll fill it out every year, and once you fill it out once, a lot of it auto-populates, so it's a little bit easier. They've made it a lot easier over the past, let's say 10 years. It's quite quick. It's not as bad as it might seem. Okay. It has a bad reputation. It really does. And it's gotten so much better. But like I said, it's based on family income and assets. You fill it out every year. It opens typically in October. That can differ sometimes. So with the application, you're going to fill out all the information. And what you're going to need for that is make sure that you know your social security number, your birth date. It's kind of surprising how many individuals put the wrong birth date in. I'm going to pick on, I have a couple of kids. So if you go to the doctor's office and you say your child's birthday, but you accidentally say the other child's birthday or your own. So that's one thing to just keep an eye on, is make sure you're entering the right information. And if you put the wrong information, it's okay. We can correct it. It's not a big deal, but it's just another step in the process then. So the right information. So social security number, birth date, and then tax information. So it's going to ask you questions about your taxes. So you're going to want to have a copy of your taxes. The FAFSA uses prior year taxes. So if you're filling out the FAFSA for fall 26, you're going to use your 2024 taxes.
That's great information to know. And keep in mind when completing the FAFSA, and really no matter where you're going, you're going to have to fill out the FAFSA for any financial aid, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And Jen, speaking of financial aid, could you tell us a little bit more about what all may be included under the umbrella of financial aid?
Yeah. So for financial aid, there's a number of different things that can be awarded to you. Loans, federal work study, federal grants programs, state grant programs. Then there's also things like the Parent Plus loan and the private loan. Things that are going to be awarded from the FAFSA would be the federal subsidized and the federal unsubsidized loans. Those two loans, the way that they differ is the subsidized loans, the government's paying the interest while you're in school. So interest is not accruing, which is great. It's going to stay that same amount. Take those first. And then the unsubsidized loans, it will be accruing interest while you're in school. And you can make payments on those if you want to. One thing that some students don't realize is, say you take out a loan for your freshman year of college, and then over the summer, you get a great job, you've saved up a lot of money, you could potentially be paying back that loan already. You can just set it up with your servicer. You don't have to wait until after you're done with college. And then with the grant programs, that's money that you don't need to pay back. So obviously that's great, money that's you don't have to worry about. The federal work study program is a program on campus where students are selected for the program and then based on their financial need, and they get put into a position on campus. So say in the financial aid office, we have a few federal work study students. They work at our front desk, they answer the phones, they scan in documents, they do things. The great thing about federal work study is that you're getting that connection on campus and kind of having a little bit of a mentorship situation where there's people who know what's going on that you can talk to. I really enjoy work study students and also student employment. Student employment is not awarded through the FAFSA. It's a position that you're going to have to go out and look for on campus. But there's lots of them. So definitely look for those positions.
Yeah, that's excellent advice and good information on the different types of financial aid. And like you mentioned with the financial aid office, no matter where you're going, check with them, see if there's any scholarships or anything like that available. And Jen, I was hoping, could you talk about any of the scholarships that might be available at Western Technical College, or how might students be able to find out more about scholarships at Western?
So Western has the Western Foundation Scholarships, which is one application for over 500 scholarships. So you fill out that one application each term, and there's I want to say 3 deadlines throughout the year. You fill that out and the foundation reviews it to see what you match up with. So you're filling out one application for potentially a bunch of scholarships, which is great. And just fill it out. To leave that money on the table, it's shocking sometimes when I have students who don't know about it. So when you apply to a school, look around, see what kind of scholarship opportunities they are, because it's free money that you don't need to pay back. And with the foundation, it's one application. So in addition to those foundation scholarships, there's always outside scholarships. So scholarships that you maybe can apply if you're a senior in high school through the high school, and they'll have a scholarship ceremony, but they might be a local scholarship. They might be a school scholarship. There might be a business in the area, say Altra, who maybe has a scholarship that you can apply for. Exactly. Look around and you just never know what's out there. And then there's also national scholarships. So there's tons of scholarships out there. You just have to put in the work to fill out the application. But once you start filling out the applications, you can start reusing stuff and just get your scholarship game going.
Yeah, that's great information on scholarships. And it sounds like a great opportunity for Western students with the Western Foundation Scholarship application. That is awesome. And speaking of scholarships, Holly, thank you for patiently waiting.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about the scholarships the Altra Foundation offers high school students.
Yes, we have the Tom Brock Community Service Scholarship that we offer each year. This is in remembrance of Tom Brock, the first foundation board chair, who was instrumental in the formation of this scholarship. Throughout his personal and professional life, Tom was dedicated to serving others in the community. His legacy of service lives on through this scholarship, which supports the next generation of community-minded individuals. To be eligible for this scholarship, applicants must be an active Altra Federal Credit Union member and have proven track record of volunteerism and community involvement.
Yeah, so it's all about giving back,
Yes.
Not only us as Altra helping people live their best life, but also those in the community helping others and giving back as well. Could you tell us about some of the, to be eligible for the scholarship or some
Yes.
of the qualifications for it?
Yeah,
Holly?
the requirements for this scholarship is to first off be a member at Altra Federal Credit Union. You must be graduating from high school and have a cumulative GPA of 2.8 or higher. You must be attending a 2-year or 4-year college in the fall. And then some of the requirements to complete this scholarship is submit a short essay on community service experience and how it has influenced you, and then submit 2 letters of recommendation, one from the school and one from a service project. And then lastly, we would like a copy of your transcript.
Yeah, so, fairly easy to apply, on our website, altra.org. And as far as the GPA, we're not looking for those that the 4.0 or, 4.7, or I don't even know how kids do that whatsoever. But the main thing that we look at is, what they're doing as far as community service and how it impacts them and how it impacts their community, right?
Yes. Yeah. Altra has been granting scholarships since 2004 and has awarded over 278 scholarships for a total of $197,000.
Oh, that is excellent, and has helped a lot of students be able to, pay a little bit less for school. As we mentioned off the beginning, it's not cheap whatsoever. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a 4-year school either. There are a lot of 2-year programs with that one as well. So that's the Tom Brock Community Scholarship. I was hoping you could tell us about our other scholarship offered by the Altra Foundation, Holly.
Yes, so Altra also offers the Financial Education Scholarship. This one is cool because you get rewarded for learning about important financial topics like smart spending strategies, credit cards, and planning for the future and more. So it's a great opportunity to learn while you are still applying for a scholarship.
And with this scholarship, you don't necessarily have to be a high school senior. You just have to be a high schooler and looking to go to college in the future. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. So one of the requirements is just to be college bound to a 2 or 4 year college within the next 4 years.
Excellent. So, and like you said, you're learning about important financial topics, so improving yourself that way, but then also having the opportunity to get a scholarship, money you don't have to pay back that can go toward your future education. How awesome is that?
Yes. And we award 2 of these scholarships. So each one we offer 2 $5,000 financial education scholarships, which is a great help to your college tuition.
So with this scholarship, Holly, do you have to be a member of Altra?
No, that's what's great about this scholarship is you do not need to be a member to apply. The requirements to apply are just to be enrolled as a high school student, ages 13 plus, have a cumulative GPA of a 2.8 or higher, and then once again be college bound to a 2 or 4 year U.S. college within the next 4 years. And then lastly, you would complete the online application for this scholarship. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for non-members to also apply for a scholarship.
Yeah, and these scholarships from the Altra Foundation are typically offered in the spring of each year. And to learn more about them, check out our website at altra.org. And to learn more about Western Technical College, their programs, locations, and more about scholarships at Western, visit westerntc.edu. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much, Jen and Holly. I know you're both so incredibly busy, but we really appreciate all the helpful information, how students can make college more affordable, and for both of you being on the Best Life podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks for having me.
On this episode of the Best Life podcast, we spoke with Jen Weber, who is the Financial Resource Coordinator at Western Technical College in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And we also spoke with Holly Salimes, who is the Youth Marketing Specialist right here at Altra. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Best Life podcast, brought to you by Altra Federal Credit Union. We appreciate you taking a moment to learn how you could live your best life. If you have a question or a topic you'd like us to cover, send me an email at tjbuyer@altra.org. And who knows, it may even make it into a future episode. Don't forget to follow the Best Life podcast pretty much wherever you get your podcasts, or find it on our website at altra.org. Thanks again, be well, and we'll talk to you again soon.